Not sure how to present today, except we'll do a lot of sessions where we'll experience the divine presence together. Doesn't matter if we believe in a divine presence or not. Fact is, my best friend who put together that book, anyway, I have a best friend who doesn't believe in God, and it's magic. They live a magical, good life with a depth of love and kindness, and very dear. So, and that forced me to turn myself inside out in the last few classes to explain God in a very different way, a unique manner. To say that God isn't here or there, and even when you're with God, there is no God because of the unimaginable humility, taken out beyond all the star systems kind of humility. Like when you're in love with your newborn, or you're holding the hand of the one you love in the early morning. All is well. And when you're in that state of divine grace, which is what these empowerment sessions are about, all is well. And you get it. And you're with that magical being. You are that magical being. How could it be otherwise? How could there not be a God? Not of all this, because the world in all the universes, and there are many. I'm saying this as a spiritual presence. It's not from a book. It's if you talk to someone who's truly spiritual in your atmosphere, you'll find things out that are deeper than you think. All we have to do is learn to listen quietly and acknowledge what they're saying, not interact and not ask a question about it like it's a bingo cage. They'll say something, then you'll react with some question that has no relevance. You know, when you get up in front of an audience and you can't speak because you feel all the mindsets and there's no communication there. When you start talking to God, you'll have God's attention. Start talking to God. And God will listen. And the more you communicate with God, the deeper you will become. And the more godlike, the more pure, humble, simple, kind, and human God will become. It's a presence. It, God, him, her, whatever. There is a way out of all of the madness. And it's an act of love and contrition and utter joy. There's a happiness associated with the spiritual life, the mystical life, the interior life that is unbeknownst to ordinary mortals. Like Shakespeare said, what fools these mortals be. The whole gambit, all of reality in this world is just mischief, something we call the devil, this little puppeteer. And all of it is equally irrelevant to the quiet, to that last whisper of eternity. It's been called nirvana, illumination, the beatific vision, the vision of God. But in the end, it's called you. It is you, this divine presence. I have to explain this, that this world system has always been called an illusion. Throughout the East, through all mystical traditions, you know, you transcend through this into you kind of a heart elopes with God through everything that seems to be, and you're in a place of endless magic and joy, happiness, and spiritual relevance. This world is an illusion. How to explain it? It isn't. And everything in it, even the good things, can be very, very, very dark. The whole thing is madness. That's why people leave everything, their life. There's thousands of stories around the world of people. It's a very popular story in India where you leave your family and you go off and you become a monk, and when you go there for enlightenment. But you don't leave your family. You don't leave your responsibility, or your cares or your woes. You become truly responsible for your fellows, your sisters, your brothers, most of all your mother. Who first showed you the wonder of true love, which is given so easily through your mom, through the morning rains, through the hands of your love. There's something behind it all that's wonderful and infinite, and that's why I say the images that the dark force puts in front of you include everything of this world. Everything, every name, place, good deed, bad deed, doesn't matter. None of it is. When you relinquish it all into quiet, in your consciousness you will transcend through everything. It will leave you in the first moment of the quiet. The quiet has an unimaginable ecstasy, though simple, an undeniable joy, though it's not exciting. The simplicity that can't be understood. And it's you, all of it is you. Everything is connected through distant star systems, not in this universe, in the universe that is. In this universe, the larger the telescope, the more powerful the microscope, the more you're going to see stars, atoms, whatever goes on infinitely, because that's what it is. It's just chopped little pieces of the same fabric of nothingness. It's just a projection on nothingness. So if you arrive at this true nothingness, spiritually speaking, that won't be. That leaves in the first millisecond of spiritual awareness. You'll begin in your practice by perhaps writing a mission statement that you'll change every 3 or 4 months, maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs at most, and very clear in what you intend to do and how you intend to arrive at this place called illumination, clarity, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. A more open condition that's permanent. If we're speaking of God, it's something forever and transcendent. And though you remain here for a time and a half a times, maybe another life, a life, and half a life, just being humorous but true. Though you'll make the mission statement, and you'll see how far you've gone on it, in it, of it, through it, to it, and 3 months later you'll improve upon it. Figure out what you've done or not done, or change the language, and you'll question yourself. And the idea of questioning yourself, it's got to be non-evaluative. It's, and then what did you do? And then what did you not do? You see the sense that's spoken with of just pure interest. And that should be your way of monitoring the whole world. Just pure interest, not reacting to it. And that's all that meditation ever was, or intended to be. I mean, you inquire unto the universe in this simple way. You'll see him, the only God. You'll become that you are, that she is, that he is, that we are. The only God. And it's you. It's unimaginable humility and kindness. It's softly lit, though powerful. It's endearing, though firm. It was before all this seems to be. We're speaking of mysticism, of God, of your heart and soul and spirituality right now. Not about the socio-political atmosphere of the world, or how well your family is doing right now, or your job, or anything. Jesus Christ said, if you do not hate the whole world, for my sake you are not worthy of me. That was meant in a spiritual sense. If you do not hate your whole life, not hate, it's, you've had it with it. And then once you've had it with your relationships, you transcend and you become, and everyone becomes your baby. Everyone I know, I got my buddies around here, they're all martial arts masters, but they're my babies in my heart. I'm here to help them, to protect them, to guide their careers, or whatever it's going to be, and with them, because I love them, because they're doing the right thing with their life. They're building better people all day, every day. So, that's a good thing. And my mommy's still my mommy. And she's lit up like a trillion stars. Literally. Everyone I love and care for is here now. And that's where we're moving with this little talk. Don't think about an end of the world or, it's the beginning of your true spiritual purpose. When you arrive at this by not wanting or needing anyone or anything, and all your family, your friends, the good people, their souls will be with you. All the good souls in the whole world and those from eternity. You'll be with them here now. That's what's meant by illumination. It's an endless openness. I experience it. You experience it. And it ends all the problematic issues of the world that seems to be, that is the illusion. There's nothing illusory about you, your higher consciousness and awareness. You're born to do something wonderful, inspiring and great. You are a remarkable soul. You dropped into this insanity at a very propitious time to end the madness, to protect the innocent. You are God's hero, and you do all this in your consciousness. Your consciousness is God. So if you're not interested or taken in by anything in the world, there'll be no world, no pain, no fear, no torment, no hardships. The actual universe, the actual basic consciousness of our soul is eternity now. Break the spell. You're made of spirit and kindness and air. You're not what the world says of you. You're not your body or your problems or the solution to your problems. You're made of this openness, this mystical morning mist called God, called you. You'll sit back in your chair and drift off for hours at your choosing. And there's not much you can say about it. the less interested you are in the world that seems to be, the more fulfilled you'll be. There is a place beyond time, beyond consciousness. And it's the body of your soul. The wise have called it God. And as we said last week, even if you're in this infinite realm of what they call the throne of grace, the throne of God, great spiritual souls who try to communicate what it's like, but even when you're there, it's infinitely more humble, human, kind, decent, and you can be given a whole lifetime like that. But in better worlds, this is the only hell. And it is a hell, but you don't react, you go, oh, it's hell. Last week I spoke with someone who wants to fight me, and I'm like, okay. And I just didn't have the time or the place, and then finally I had to say no, which is not what I want to do, because, I said it in a way that shocked the person. I had to walk away quickly, but it's, a circumstance that's so seemingly human to the other party, and to me, a good person. So what I'm saying there is even the nicest thing in the world is Satan. I don't mean to be confusing with that thought. I'm simply saying everything about this is confused. The world never was. We're waking up in the middle of a bad dream. And even that happiness you have when you wake up and you realize it was a dream, but you're utterly happy, this is infinitely more than that. But it's not infinitely more than you. This place is for the wise who've broken the spell. Please talk to God and listen only to God. God will speak to you. And once he does, it's as though you're the only person in the world. Because to God, you are the only person in the world. And that consciousness, when arrived at, will dispel all the darkness, the myths. You'll never know fear or trepidation, or even simple consideration again. You'll be in the Pure Land. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Skolta.